Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
Let's talk Devils and Islanders, let's talk Penguins and Rangers, but let's not talk about Flyers, cause they're a bunch of fucks, which no one can deny.
Don't try it till you've had it. This is episode 96 of the Friends and Rivals podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. Joining me each week are
Stephen Wojtowicz,
Bill Fougere, Nick Loretta.
we're coming on the air right now as Damar Hamlin just got taken off the field on a stretcher during a Monday Night Football game. Can't help but think of back in the day. Who would you say that Dallas Stars player was?
Rich Peverly.
Yeah, he's the one that got administered CPR on the bench. And they stopped that game. And they're not stopping tonight's game, which I don't know. You got to think what's happening with that guy is bigger than football. And even they were saying in the studio that it's bigger than football. And for them to continue to play the game tonight with that guy going to the hospital after being administered CPR, I don't know. I would have stopped the game.
They're stopping the game right now temporarily.
Yeah, I think they're going to before they start again, they're going to give them 5 minutes of warm-up time. I thought they said on the studio, or that's what they said in the booth rather. So
I think that's a bad call.
Yeah, I do too. But I mean, that's up to the coaches, right? Or up to the team that the player was on.
No, I would bet it's up to the league, not the team.
Yeah, but I thought, if I remember correctly, it was the teams in that game. I think it was the Stars and the Blues, maybe. Anyway, irrelevant. But I think they made the decision not to play that.
I would bet if the team said no, we're not playing, that game is.
Yeah, and you saw both head coaches kind of huddled on the sideline with the referees, and it looked like the Cincinnati coach went to the Bills head coach and said, "All right, what do you want to do? We'll do whatever you want to do." At least that's what his body language said, or that's kind of how I'm interpreting it. That's how I want to interpret it. But ugly. Well, Happy New Year, everybody.
Oh yeah,
Happy New Year.
I have not been to work in what is now 17 days, and I don't even know what day it is.
Be honest. Let the listeners in on the story.
I sent the agenda out this morning as I would normally do. I guessed on a Monday, and had a nice sidebar conversation. The show and got a little insight on the chaos that is his life right now, and then probably 7 hours later, I didn't know. I thought we were recording tomorrow night. So yeah,
totally forgot we recorded on Monday night.
Completely.
We've been recording on Monday night for the last 3 months, and he told 1 week off and 2 weeks off of work, and he totally forgets.
A lot has happened in this 2 weeks since we have recorded.
You're telling me
it was all crazy, but a very good, entertaining, and fun holiday filled with memories and good thoughts. So it was. I was safe. I made sure to make sure everybody was safe before we left.
Be safe.
I was safe.
Yes.
I was
Good.
safe on the on everything I did. Twice I was safe. So everything is all good. Everybody New Year good.
So far, so good. Two days, and all's good.
Wonderful.
Way better than last year. I gotta say, I'm feeling it. Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. This exact day last year was my day one with COVID.
Oh,
And that was
spoiler alert.
fucking miserable.
Or as Billy would say, that's called foreshadowing.
I'm not gonna get fucking COVID again.
No, I think it might come up later in the episode.
You think?
No?
No.
All right. Never mind.
No. COVID has nothing to do with this iteration of Inside Steve's Stomach.
All right.
I think we're good there. This is going to be a shit show tonight, kind of like all of our other ones. But this more than any other because I am so discombobulated right now. So, starting off the Happy New Year, what's one thing from your teams that you want to see this year? What's one thing? Not for that for the entire calendar year 2023, but for the remainder of this season. What's one thing you want to see? What's the main thing you want to see?
What order are we going in? We're going
Go
in the
ahead,
same
Bill.
order as Ride the Metro.
You're running your fucking mouth. Go ahead.
Let's let's just cut right to the fucking chase because this is all my whole thing is going to be about today anyway. Hold a fucking lead. Hold a fucking third period lead, Penguins. That's what I need in the rest of the season.
You should probably warn people to turn the radios down prior to doing that next time. It might be
I like
better.
that he did it.
Did I come through
I
clear?
like that he was a little loud.
Am I coming in clear? Yes, that was loud and clear. Very, very good. Nick, what's one thing?
Oh man, consistency, 100% consistency. The team has been so inconsistent, and I'll talk about it a little bit in our segment later. But man, I just wish the team would be not a team that looks like a contender to team that just looks like they don't know where they're how to play hockey. And it's not playing. I think the skills are there, but as a team and the system they're playing in, sometimes they just forget how that works properly, and they can't play. I don't know. Bizarre.
Steven?
I would hope for one of the two goalies to step up and take the reins as the number one goalie. And I guess similarly to what Nick is saying, don't be phenomenal one game and give up 4 goals on 18 shots the next game. Be consistent. If you're going to be consistently bad, that's fine. Be consistently bad. We'll let the other guy play the majority of the games. He'll be number one, by elimination.
I agree. My thing that I was thinking about all day, and even when I texted out the agenda, was the exact word Nick used, and that was consistency. But not necessarily consistency with the players, but consistency with the coach. The coach has got to roll out lines that are consistent. You can't have the kid lines run for 2 weeks and then split them up, and then have Zibanejad and Kreider with Kako for another 2 weeks and then split them up. You gotta put guys together for the rest of this year and let them go for better, for fucking worse. Just give us something, and that talks to the team and about balance that we'll get into a little bit later on. But I think it's an overwhelming majority. The one thing that we're all looking for is consistency. But, maybe the Penguins found a little consistency with giving up the lead. No, I kid. We've all been there for sure. The Rangers went through a stretch where they gave up leads in the third period, and the Islanders went through a stretch where they could not lose in the third period. So
I was going to go with not give up a goal in the first minute or last minute of a period.
Those are killers.
Yeah.
Those are killers. But I think the one thing that we are all looking for is that consistency. And I hope we all get it. Because you know what? One of Pittsburgh, Washington, New York Rangers, New York Islanders are not going to make the playoffs.
Oh, you can add my team to that list. No.
I was going to, and I get right. They're only 1 point ahead of either Washington or Pittsburgh. I forgot who it was. So I guess you can add New Jersey to that. One of those teams is not making the playoffs this year, and it's going to be very upsetting. I hope it's Washington. Wait, is it? Did I forget a team in there?
No.
Yeah, I think you're good. Yeah, but it's looking like one of our teams are definitely not. We're looking at the outside looking in, unless Washington drops down and all our teams make it. But I'm not really that confident at this point in any of our teams, to be honest.
No.
I picked the Rangers to win the cup, I think, and they are not. They're not helping me out here.
When you look at the standings, the goal differential usually tells a pretty decent story as if a team's going to make the playoffs or not. And typically teams with a higher differential have a very good, record. There's a team that right now that's a puzzle. They're a plus 20 in goal differential, and they got 38 points on the year, and that's the Buffalo Sabres. I'm going to be fascinated to find out who the hell the Buffalo Sabres are. They're just they shouldn't be in the position that they are with a plus 20.
Wow. Sorry.
What happened?
Team Canada just advanced to the next round of the World Juniors in overtime, and the guy undressed. It's 3-on-3 overtime. He literally undressed all 3 players on Slovakia before he buried the goal.
Connor
You
Bedard?
are going to see a replay of that goal forever.
Was it Bedard?
No, it was number 16. It started with
That's
an E,
Bedard.
I think.
That's
No,
Bedard.
I thought it started with an E, but
Okay.
maybe it was
I've
just
got it
cut
on
off.
right now because I'm behind. He's
yeah,
about
Bill's
to
gonna
do
see
it.
it live.
Bill, tell me who it is.
That's Bedard. That's
Oh,
Mr.
wow.
Bedard.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Future Penguin.
The Devils should tank from here on out.
He's gonna be a Blackhawk. Come on.
Wow.
They're not gonna put him in Vancouver or fucking Ottawa or Columbus. They might put him in Montreal if Montreal really shits the bed in the second half of the season.
He just did whatever he wanted.
You got to think that they're going to put Bedard in a big market.
Yes,
and there's no better market right now than Chicago.
Hey, Chicago, they're gonna be right there at the top of the list, man. They are at
the top of the list right now.
Oh, I know they're at the top of the list because I got one of my teams in our little fantasy teams we got going on.
Speaking of which,
sorry. Nick, did you get the top 7 teams in the NHL and then the Blackhawks? Is that what you're worried about?
You're upset that you're only 40 points higher than all of us right now.
Right now, only 45 points. The higher than Bill.
So we'll go to Friends of Rivals of Cup. Nick, let our listeners know where everybody stands.
Yeah, so with about 360-ish games, all of us around have about remaining in the season. A few months left of the season here. I'm in first place with 365 total points. Bill coming in second with 320 points. Tom 315 in third place, and Steve at 312 in last place. Now, it's this is actually kind of better. I mean, aside from me just being well in front the whole season, Steve is actually in last place. I think this hasn't been the case for most of the time. So
this is better for who?
I think the rest of us have all spent time in last place now.
Everybody's been getting closer and closer. Maybe maybe the Bruins and Carolina Hurricanes and Maple Leafs and Vegas Golden Knights will stop winning games, but they seem to be kind of stuck. So I still have 4 of the top 5 teams. Steve has the Dallas Stars in the 4th spot. I have Bruins, Canes, Leafs, and Knights, who are all very much been top of the league right now. And that's kind of been the big thing here. Steve actually has 2 more teams in the top 10. In Tampa Bay Lightning and the Winnipeg Jets, but he also has about 4 of the worst 10 teams. So it's kind of not helping him in that regard. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe Bill's teams all shoot up and he takes the spot back from me over time. That Philadelphia, that trade that he made earlier in the year is really, really hurting him right now, man. That's a tough pill to swallow.
I don't know, man. Penguins haven't won a game in weeks, so I don't know how Tom's feeling about that anymore.
It's still better than Ottawa, so I'm good. The Caps are coming on strong right now, so that's okay.
It's just Boston has not had a bad streak yet.
No,
they haven't
lost 4 losses.
They haven't.
How do they go? How do they go this deep into the season without some sort of, 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5 streak? I tell you how they do it. They play the Penguins a lot, and the Penguins can't hold the lead.
Yeah.
Man. Yikes.
So that's where we are at. Pretty much not too far off from where we've been in the last few weeks, but
do I have games in hand on Tom?
No.
No, you actually
I have 4.
least...
I have 4 on you.
Oh,
Billy
wow.
has 3 on you.
The least amount of games left, unfortunately.
Son of a bitch.
Hey, look, in 2 weeks when we revisit this, I'm sure we're going to be telling another.
It's going to be the greatest comeback in the history of sports.
Did we ever figure out what happens to the loser?
I thought we decided the other 3 the other 3 would pick something they have to do or say during the podcast, or wear something and a picture would be posted on Twitter or.
All right,
we'll figure that out. You figure that out. It's your podcast.
You're gonna get tarred and feathered.
Spectacular.
That sounds great. Okay,
Getting
let's go
comfortable.
to let's ride the metro. Sponsored by rich, wholesome Nestle Quick. Hello, boys and girls. Do you hate the taste of regular milk and need energy? Try Nestle Quick. One sip and you can feel the energy in your muscles. Nestle Quick, now available in chocolate and strawberry.
They say the real men drink pink. Then I'm a real man for sure. But if you like the brown, I still love you for who you are. Because it's time for acceptance of everyone, all preference. We're all quick on the inside anyway. Nestle Quick, it does the trick.
Billy, Penguins in the Winter Classic again. How many fucking times have they been in the Winter Classic? It hasn't been 6. Has it been 6?
I have no idea. That's Steve saying 6.
Boston
I don't really
and
keep track of this
Pittsburgh
stuff.
6, Philly 5.
Are you fucking kidding
Those
me?
are the top 3 teams. Yes.
Ugh.
Yeah, the Penguins have been on the road quite a bit for those too.
So the Devils and the Islanders have only done the Stadium Series, right? That's the only outdoor
Yeah.
games you guys have had. Oof. Ooh, that's brutal. Sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
Oh, well, they didn't already scream into the microphone earlier today. 5-game losing streak. They had third period leads in 3 of those games, and they lost them all.
I'm sorry. Let me take that back. That's outdoor games. They have been in the Winter Classic 3 times.
Even still, that's a lot.
Steve's a liar.
I stand corrected. Or sit.
So yeah, that is a story. Another one today that they lost in Boston. Obviously, the big Winter Classic game. Tristan Jarry apparently left that game with a lower body injury. So who the hell knows where that's going to go? But they can't afford to lose him, or can they? Because they just lose every game anyway, even if whether they're winning or losing in the third period. Yeah, it's gotten old. It's a problem. It's not the first blown leads. Ever since the probably 2018, the Penguins have not done well holding leads, hold it down. Not done well with big leads early in games either. They let those melt away with clarity. But it really has come to a really ugly point this season. They're now up to 11 points that they've missed out on by blowing third period leads, and not coming back to win an overtime game or anything like that. So I mean, if they had 80% of those points that they've lost in the third period, they'd be in pretty fine shape right now. But they're not, and they're getting beat up. They've used all 9 of their defensemen. I guess that's the good news, because 3 of their defensemen are out. And now Jarry's going to be out, and so this is getting prettier anytime in the near future for the Penguins. But I mean, if you're good enough to get a lead in the third period, then you're good enough to hold the lead and win the game. So it's something that has gotten out of hand, and this is the kind of shit that is going to get Mike Sullivan fired if he doesn't straighten it out. I love Sullivan, but there comes a point in time when if you can't get your team to perform and do things like close out a game, then you can't fire the whole team like they say. The coach has to go, and somebody's got to answer for it. And you take a chance. It'd be hard to upgrade, but you take a chance with somebody else and see where it goes.
If he got fired, there would be teams that would fire their coach right now just to have him be their head coach of their team.
I think
Or they do what
they
do the whole associate head coach instead of assistant head coach thing in expectation of making a move during the offseason.
Yeah. I don't know that I get what you're saying because a lot of the Rangers shit's pinned on Gallant right now too. So it's not his fault. I like Mike Sullivan a lot, like you said.
I like him too. Yeah, but at some, every coach does have a shelf life, though, and this it's not a new problem. It's one that's gotten really exacerbated this season, but it's not a new problem. And if he can't coach them out of the end of the game, then they got to try somebody else. It's just where it's just what happens in sports. And he could catch on and be a really good coach elsewhere. I'm sure he'd be in demand. Not worried about him. But the team has looks like they stopped responding. So I don't really have much more to say about them. It's been the same story the last couple of weeks. It's ugly. It's just frustrating.
Oh, I thought I was
frustrating.
Sorry about that.
Frustrating. It's frustrating.
Frustrating.
Well, how frustrating is it on the Devils side, Steve?
It's the goaltending. It's the frustration over the goaltending. The 2-4 since we last convened. They lost 4 games, but they lost 2 games to the Hurricanes and they lost 2 games to the Bruins. So can you be upset? Yeah, you could be upset, but those are the top 2 teams in the East, right? If I'm not mistaken. Carolina, by virtue of overtaking New Jersey, is number 1 in the Metro. And then you beat Florida and you beat Pittsburgh, right? So, Pittsburgh at this point, I'm going to just say it is a team they should beat. And they did. And they beat a Florida team that isn't playing as well as they played last year. So, like I said, 2-4 since we last convened. December was an atrocious month. 4-7-2 in December. And I believe around the second week in December, I said they had a horrendous 10-game stretch coming. And they proved me right by going 2-7-1 over those 10 games. Some bright spots are Graves, who had been injured. The injury apparently isn't as severe as they thought because he was back for the last game. Palat should be back soon. He's back practicing with the team. Now it's just a matter of getting the conditioning up. Bratt, who's been very up and down this season, has been playing well as of late. He's scored in the last couple of games. And then the bad side, you got Marino out for an extended period of time. We still don't know when Bastian's going to be back. And Kevin Ball is just not stepping up in that 6th defenseman position like the team hoped he would. So those are some things that we're going to be looking at over the next week. Detroit on Wednesday, St. Louis on Thursday, Rangers on Saturday. St. Louis, it was announced today, Tarasenko and one other player, Riley.
Oh, Riley, yeah.
Are both injured. They're both going to be out at least 4 weeks. So we catch them at a good time because of injuries, yes, but sometimes when there's injuries, other players are like, this is my chance to showcase myself a little bit. So who knows what we're going to get Thursday when they come into town.
It's a back-to-back too, but and then after that, you're looking at a pretty lengthy road trip after that.
Yeah,
So,
they go out west.
hey, man, you guys are done with Carolina after next week?
I believe so. Yeah. Well, yeah, that would be 3 games.
That'll be 3. No,
Yeah.
what? They don't play them 4 times this year.
Who knows?
They're just a Metro team, not an Atlantic team. And I don't know what if the Devils play them 4 times or 3 times. But
Right.
getting rid of them now early, great.
is going to be good.
Yeah, no doubt. But listen, like everybody else, Rangers are looking for some consistency before the break. You lose a tough one, you give up a pair of power play goals to the Penguins on the 20th, and then you come back and you have an emotionally charged win against the Islanders on Thursday before the break. And then you come back from the break and you completely take a shit against Washington, and you play a really good game against Tampa, even though you lose in the shootout. Each one of those games with Tampa, besides the first game of the season, were very low scoring affairs. And then you beat a struggling Florida Panthers team that their goaltending is atrocious. How many more years they got Bobrovsky? How many more years?
Oh, too many.
Oof.
That was
is,
an awful contract.
We talked about Skinner's contract being an albatross. I think that one might take the cake there. But the Rangers are looking for some consistency, and they're trying to put lines together that give them that. You sit Lafreniere against the Lightning on Thursday night, and you get a whole slew of trade rumors flowing around the internet. If Lafreniere is indeed going to be traded, it's going to be for a package for somebody large, like a Kane. He's not going to go to Montreal. I think I heard that rumor today. So you're gonna find all these rumors, but to give up on this kid early, listen, I'm one of his biggest haters right now. He doesn't skate hard. He doesn't play every game, every shift like it's his last in the NHL. And he's 21 years old. You go out there and play a hard-nosed game if that's your game. In fact, what do you think Lafreniere's game is? Anybody want to take a guess at what type of game he plays?
I have no idea.
No idea, right?
No idea.
Zero idea.
I don't know if he's a finesse player, if he's an assist machine,
Nope.
A finisher, or a mucker, a grinder.
Nope. Nobody has any idea. And coming out.
But is that bad coaching? Is that bad Is that a coach not going, look, this is your game. Go out there and do this.
So it's hard to pin it on the coach because he's put him in position to succeed. They put him on the top line this year with Trocheck and Panarin, and that worked well for a couple of games. And then they moved him to another line. They moved him to another line because he feels more comfortable at left wing. And the Rangers are stacked at left wing with Kreider and Panarin right now. And for him to get more playing time, is it that hard to fucking switch from left to right wing?
There's a saying. You can do if you do a lot of things good, you don't do any one thing good enough.
100%.
So if they can plug him into all these different positions, it's because he's not doing anything remarkably well.
They're trying to throw shit against the wall right now and seeing what sticks. And they've been trying that all year and nothing is sticking.
It would be better if they just said, look, this is the kind of player you are. Go.
Anything at this point that resembled any type of consistency or, oh, okay, that's who Lafreniere is. Because, he scores this gorgeous goal against Detroit last year through the legs, fucking backhand. It was a highlight reel goal. Gorgeous. But that was a finesse play. Is he a finesse player? Is he a hard-nosed player that stands in front of the net and deflects pucks in? Is he a playmaker that passes? We don't know. I have no idea what the fuck Alexei Lafreniere is at this point, and would really like to find out. But they've been trying to give him every opportunity to prove what he is, to prove that he's a right winger or a left winger or a playmaker or whatever, just by putting him in a position to succeed. And he hasn't done that. He hasn't taken that torch. And a lot in the beginning of the year was, oh, well, he's deferring to Panarin, or he's any line he's on, he's typically deferring on. But even when he's with Kakko and Hedl, he's deferring to them too. So he's not taking the puck and going with it. And I think he needs to find something. He needs to find anything that resembles consistency. And this week the Rangers, schedule doesn't get any easier. You got a really tough test against Carolina tomorrow night at home, and then you got 2 road games against Montreal and New Jersey on Thursday and Saturday. Just play hard, get some consistency, and go out there and get some points. Nick, how the Islanders doing out in the West?
Well, started the road trip with a nice loss to Seattle Kraken. Not the best start to where we wanted it to be. This is 3 more games this week, all on the road. Vancouver tomorrow, Edmonton Thursday, Calgary Friday. All winnable games. To be honest, there's not a team there that's really scary out there. Edmonton's probably the scariest, I guess, but realistically, they should. They have a good chance of beating all three of those teams. But hey, that's how it goes. Now, start of this past week, we've had a 3-game win streak. Realistically, heading back to right after the Rangers Isles game. 5-1 win against Florida, 5-1 win against Pittsburgh, and then close. It should have been a shutout against Columbus, but they left the fucking, let the goal in with 30 seconds left, empty netter. Another Sorokin shutout. That was not a shutout. So yeah, they played really well in this stretch, and then Seattle game just looked like shit. Just 19, I think it was 19 shots against Kraken. They were held to very few shots in the game, and just couldn't put together a cohesive game after the first period. Really, there was 1-1 at one point in the game, and then just didn't really work out. But Isles have had some injuries that have kind of caused, I think, some shifting of lines and shifting of team, especially up front. Holmstrom and Wallstrom have been on IR for a bit. Clutterbuck's been on IR. Palmieri's been on IR. So we've had guys, up front all out. On the back line, we still have Pellick out, who's one of our top defensemen. So I mean, a lot of guys out. Varlamov's been out. He just came off IR, coming back to back up Sorokin. So that's helping out quite a bit. Palmieri and Clutterbuck are both skating still. They're on the trip, so they're going to probably come back and play one of the next couple games. With that said, Holmstrom, Wallstrom, and Pellick are all still not with the team, all healing up. Pellick's probably the most concerning because he had the head injury and he's been basically he's not skating with the team. So he's been skating probably by himself a little bit, just to get some non-contact time, but not great. So there's pieces out. At the same time, Fashing has played really well with the Isles in his time up here. I don't remember if I talked about him last time, but he's kind of like more of a grinder type of player, but he's fit really well in with the fourth line. And then he's been elevated up to the first line. He just does a lot of little things really well, and he grinds out the game pretty well. And he's been really one of our better players the last few weeks. So it's nice to see that happen. Kind of a nice surprise. Don't know how long it's gonna last. So maybe he'll just drop back down to the AHL after everybody's just coming back, or maybe he'll stay up with the big club, depending on how things work out, because he's been providing that spark in the corners, winning battles, getting to having some decent hands, and that helps a lot. A notable thing, Barzal, they experimented with him on the wing a little bit this week with Atiratu up, playing with Zizekas playing also up in the center position with Brock Nelson. It was been our another obviously one of our centers, but they've been kind of moving things around and trying that out. So Barzal, who's had few goals now, he's put 5 goals in the year. He's had 3 of those goals in this stretch of this last week. One last night, and then 2. I think it was in the which game was it? I think it was the Penguin game. I think they had 2 goals. But anyway, it's another possibility where with over time that he can move over to the wing. It's been talked about. He's not amazing on faceoffs, and to be honest, if they have a kid like Atiratu that ends up being a really solid center for us, then there's not really a lot of room for him right now with Pajot, Zizekas, Brock Nelson, and Barzal all in the center position. So potentially Barzal can move over, give him less responsibilities defensively, and then give him the ability to be more like a Patrick Kane, and give him that total freedom to kind of just do what he needs to do on the wing, score points, which could happen. We'll see. But that's been the case. Isles have been, like I said, super inconsistent. Kraken game, they looked like dog shit. They just couldn't get the puck, in the zone, and they couldn't just couldn't get anything stabilized. Like you watch like a power play just not, take off because they can't get the puck, settled in the opponent's zone. That was kind of like how it felt like the whole game. Just didn't really feel like they had the ability to get, a real cohesive offense or just keep the puck, in with to get any dangerous shots at a certain point. They just couldn't get anything going. So disappointing as shit. So we'll see how that goes the rest of the road trip. We got, like I said, 3 more games this week coming up, starting with tomorrow, then Thursday and Friday. So a lot of games in a short period of time. Some guys come back. Hopefully that'll help. And we'll see. Because after that, we have a lot of home games the rest of this month.
So I just saw that Bedard goal. Holy Jesus Christ. If you're the Blackhawks and you happen to trade Patrick Kane to the New York Rangers, would you rather have Alexei Lafreniere or Brennan Hoffman? You know what you may or may not be getting with Alexei Lafreniere, and the chemistry that Hoffman's had with Bedard on the power play has been pretty solid for Canada.
Not bad.
But there's no guarantee that translates.
There's no guarantee with either of them right now.
With Lafreniere, you have a player that can play in the NHL.
Sure.
You don't know if you have a player that can play in the NHL.
No, but this preseason, I think Hoffman showed that he could, and it's all because of his contract. They wanted to push it another year. That's why he's not with the Rangers this year. And I always thought that was a big mistake. Anyway, I just saw the goal and Hoffman jump on him after it, and I just thought about that. Wanted your opinion. Okay. And now it's time for trivia with Bill. Yay!
Thanks, Tom. What a great intro.
Now, this is the wrong Bill.
When a player is given a penalty and his team plays with one fewer player on the ice, the other team is said to have what?
Herpes.
Gonorrhea.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Don't recall where it said. I think I have to because I don't recall where I said that this was an STD. So when a player is given a penalty and his team plays with one fewer player on the ice, the other team is said to have what?
Hemorrhoids.
No, oh no, this isn't an ailment.
Staph infection.
Hepatitis C.
It's not a
B?
disease sexually transmitted or otherwise.
Is there a D?
What?
Left wing lock.
Ooh. Gonorrhea.
No, Nick already. I think Nick already guessed gonorrhea.
Did you say gonorrhea?
I did.
Ah, shit. I'm gonna enjoy listening.
It's also not Adam
that
Graves. If you want to listen back.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question one more time?
When a player is given a penalty and his team plays with one fewer player on the ice, the other team is said to have what?
Icing.
No, not is the ice. That's a different rule.
A shorthanded opportunity.
No, it's the other team.
A power outage.
It's a PSE&G power outage.
No, not power outage.
Power surge.
Because they got one less player. They're less power.
No, Nick got it. Wow, good job.
Y'all getting closer.
Great job, Nick. Oh man.
We're getting closer?
I'm gonna say you're like half right with
so is it an ocean surge?
No, the wrong. That's you got the wrong.
You're going the wrong way. It's like they have the power.
Oh,
you got the touch.
It's a gray skull.
You got the power.
Is it called that a gray skull?
Power of gray skull.
No, not Skeletor or He-Man or related to anything.
They have a man-up advantage.
Yeah, that's that. So there's a common phrase that's used for being a man up.
It's the one man advantage.
One man advantage.
One man.
It's
right, because if you're not, 2 players down, they call it a 2-man advantage.
Right.
So if you're one
Right.
player down, it's called a one-man advantage.
Right. Great job, Steve.
Welcome to the PSENG one-man advantage. I can hear it now at the arena. I
yeah.
can hear them saying it.
Oh,
There's
good.
pretty a lot of bass behind it at the Rock, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Running with the devil.
Give me a
uh,
Ugh.
So
That's awesome. I love
again,
that.
I was going back to when you guys were saying power surge and power outage. You were
Right.
with both of them. You were half right. So you know which half it could have been because
Surge then, right?
those two phrases.
Is it a surge play?
No, surge is not the half that was correct.
The Surge Protector.
No,
GFI?
no. We're getting
boring,
into
Nick.
like
Look, we're
electrical.
boring, Nick. He's
terms
yawning
unnecessary.
during the
Being
podcast.
tortured right now.
So bored.
Boring everybody.
Oh, how about a power supply?
No, it's not a power supply. You want the multiple choice?
Sure.
Okay, great. It's A, breakaway, B, fielder's
Oh.
choice, C, power play, or D,
What was-
penalty.
What was B?
B. It
Gonorrhea.
was B. Yeah.
Fielder's choice.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
not even a hockey term.
It's a
The other
first
three are
down
at
then,
least
right?
hockey
It's a first down?
terms. It's too soon with the football references.
it a
now,
free
but
throw?
no changes.
You're right. I'm sorry. Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
No, that free throws, basketball. No.
Penalty kick?
Also, it was. I just gave you the multiple choice. I don't know why we're going off
Yeah,
the
you,
board
you
here.
pretend like I
Wait,
listened.
A,
was
breakaway,
was
B,
shootout
fielder's
the last
choice,
one?
C, power play, D, penalty. No,
Yeah, it's a penalty.
It's definitely a penalty.
no, it's not a penalty. I mean,
is a
a penalty
penalty.
has been called. A penalty has been called, but we're looking for the term for the team with the
All right, Nick, go.
one-man advantage.
Power play goal.
I'm going to accept that power because this was the first two words, and I'm right there. Yes, you said power play, and that's what it was.
Because I wasn't listening, I don't know who introduced that segment, but whoever did
Tom
can
did.
just introduce the next one too.
Oh, okay. Well, actually,
Fucking great.
we have someone calling into the show, and he's going to give us a report
No, we don't.
on the red hot
No, we don't.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Fucking great.
No.
Randy
Nice.
Travis
No, I
the
wanna play
Turd, are
20
you
questions.
there?
No, I want to play.
Yes.
Y'all there?
Oh.
Y'all hear me?
Hey,
Oh,
Happy New Year,
God.
Randy!
This thing on?
Happy New Year! Oh my God, we haven't heard from Randy all
Hey,
season.
fellas.
I love Randy.
Fellas, happy New Year. How y'all doing?
We are
2023
doing
has gotten
great.
right into the shitter.
Oh,
Doing better now that I
Sam,
hear that
my
accent.
my favorite member of the team is
Fuck me.
he's already upset. Oh, sir.
Randy, the Carolina
Yes,
Hurricanes.
sir.
First and foremost, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. I hope they
Happy
were
New Year to
wonderful.
you.
Hey,
Oh,
Randy.
fantastic.
Hey, Randy.
Fantastic.
Randy,
Yes, sir.
happy Hanukkah, man. I know you celebrate.
Oh, not really, but I do like to celebrate for all holidays, when I can, and
No, you don't.
I'm very inclusive with we do have some family members that are the Jewish kind, and
No, you
they do celebrate very nicely those
They
12 days
married
of
into the family,
Hanukkah.
probably, right?
Well, I wouldn't say they married in, but they're part of the family.
Yeah, cousins.
Certainly.
Well,
Randy-
Randy, the Carolina Hurricanes are on fire. If not
Hopefully
one of the
Randy
hottest
catches
teams, if
fire.
not the hottest team in the NHL. Can you give us a kind of a rundown on how their season's been going?
Well, Tom, you hit it out of the ballpark, sir. They are
Oh,
Carolina
baseball
red hot.
reference. Thanks,
God,
Randy.
they are having a good time. They are partying after every game. They are doing just fantastic. And I tell you, they were having a great time on New Year's,
He
celebrating
hasn't even answered
11
the question yet.
straight games. And they've won 11 in a row. It's remarkable. They just
You're gonna
coming
have to
together
stop
at the
soon,
right
Randy, because
time.
we know you can't count much higher.
I don't know, Steve. I can count to 2 wins over the Devils in the stretch. Oh,
What you had to
man,
use all your
that's
teeth
a
for
good
that one, didn't you?
bird. I'm just having a good time there, Steven. It's a new year. I'm a happy guy. We've been traveling. We've been seeing family. We've been on an 11-game winning streak. It's going super well. Everybody's playing pretty good. Nobody specifically is really taking
Because he
over.
doesn't know the names of the players. He can't tell us.
Well, I know a few players, of course. Who would you like to know about, Steven?
Tell me about your defenseman.
My defenseman. Well, would you like to know about Calvin DeHaan, or would you like to know about Jalen Chatfield, or our top scoring defenseman, Brant Burns? Who would you like to know about?
Is he the Canes' top scoring defenseman this year?
Currently today,
Wow.
he is.
Wow.
He is Mr. 37-year-old, longest beard I ever seen. I bet he's got one in the front too. But it's a long beard, and certainly he can shoot from anywhere on the ice, and it's gonna be a
You
rocket.
don't really just shoot from anywhere on the ice, Randy, because it's not fucking golf.
That's what they do right after power play ends. They take their last shot. You should know that.
Can't we just do? Can we hang up the phone and get Nick back and do 20 questions?
Well, Randy, how was the rest of your? What was your favorite present you got on Christmas when we were celebrating the Lord's birth?
My favorite gift. I don't really. I like to give gifts. I think more than receive. So I think given just the going around to the different homeless folks and giving them food and shelter and clothes off our
Such a
backs to
liar.
them. That is what we do as good Christians down here in Carolina.
Say something
and that's
bad
really,
about that, Steve.
Wow, I want to applaud you, Randy. You are extremely generous.
That's
and,
why. Thank you, Thomas.
A very
thank
thoughtful
you,
human
William.
being.
Really appreciate that. Stephen, did you do anything like that for your Devils?
Did I run around to homeless Devils fans and clothe them?
Or did you just steal food from them like a devil?
No, Randy, I did not steal anything.
I just kidding, Steven.
Because you're hilarious.
Man.
You're just
I
a
got you
million
good.
jokes a minute, Randy.
You look like you were gonna explode. That head was
You're
turning
fucking
so red.
hilarious.
All right, boys. I had a good time.
Oh, did you?
We'll-
Nobody else
we'll
did.
talk again.
Likewise.
I'll get the call in when the team isn't doing so hot. So
Good.
it's
yeah.
a little more.
Don't call
even.
us. We'll call you.
Okay, you got it, Steve. I love you, buddy. All right, Thomas. William,
Okay. God bless.
I'll talk to y'all
Randy,
later.
it is always a pleasure, and God bless you and your beautiful wife.
Thank you.
Keep
Rhonda
on
says
doing
hi.
God's work, Randy.
Okay, terrific.
Wow, Randy Travis the Turd on the new year. My God in heaven!
Oh, and Nick just came back from the bathroom. Nick, you
Oh,
missed him again.
guys.
Oh my God!
Randy
Gotta be
just
a
called
shit,
in.
guys. Sorry.
You missed Randy.
I heard. Yeah, I had to take a shit. Sorry, it was more important than
You
talking
just
to Randy.
every time.
Well-
It's so weird how that happens.
He's already
Understood.
texting me right now. He's a lot of emojis right now, and he's really
I'm
gotten.
sure.
He got a new phone for Christmas, and he's just hitting me up with all these texts.
Oh man!
Just a whole bunch of colons and closed parentheses because that's the only emoji he can do on his flip phone.
Keep sending me the one with the devil guy in Seinfeld, Putty. Keep sending
Yeah.
me Putty one and
Yeah.
laughing and LOLs. I don't know what that means, but
He's such a
hey,
fucking
he's
prick.
he's got a funny sense of humor. Right? You
Does
know,
he?
He's
Yeah.
a good guy. Yeah.
Let us know
Nice.
when
Great.
let us know when that happens,
I'll send you some pictures later.
please.
Don't worry.
What a great guy! All right, let's go to this date in Steve's stomach.
Oh, that feels better.
Brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Right here, we're saving calories. Round here, we all look so lean. Round here, we enjoy Coke Zero, but sacrifice flavor, no. Round here, Coke Zero's the way to go. This one's going to bring us, as Randy would say, to the year of our Lord, 2022. Now, you haven't retired this yet. It's still
This book is not found its final resting place just yet. It was still on my desk at the start of the day because I was just finishing up my last few days of entries.
Oh, were you backlogged because you weren't working?
It's only 2 days, so sometimes that happens.
All right. Go to August 16th. August 16th.
August 16th was a Tuesday. It was a work from home day. And I know that because I had cereal for breakfast.
You don't
Captain
bring
Crunch
cereal to
cereal,
the
if we're
office?
being specific.
You don't bring cereal to the office?
No. Turkey and cheese sandwich for lunch with a Coke Zero can and some
Got cheese.
Cheez-Its on the side. We promptly finished work and did a 30-minute elliptical workout, probably in preparation of the dinner we were about to eat, which was cheeseburger pie and a Coke Zero can. Cheeseburger pie is much like a shepherd's pie, ground beef, cheese mixture, and then mashed potatoes on top in a pie crust. Delicious, highly recommended. Why did you
Indulgent.
pick Tuesday, August 16th, 2022?
Well, obviously, that was the day. And I'm very curious on how many of you have done this. Very curious. Or something,
Oh, I definitely have.
or something
definitely
similar. A couple was arrested after they were seen having sex on the Cedar Point Ferris wheel. Now, Cedar Point is a very large amusement park in Sandusky, Ohio.
Of course, Ohio.
I have been there. Right. Well, listen, I really, really wanted this to be a story about Ohio people. However, the man was from Ruskin, Florida. So we're melding
a little best of both worlds, as they
yes,
say.
and the woman, oddly enough, was from Miamisburg, Ohio. I never even knew there was a Miamisburg, Ohio. But they were the couple initially denied having sex on the ride, and telling police that she was wearing shorts under her dress, that she had and she had dropped a pack of cigarettes. She said she had bent over to pick up the pack of cigarettes, and that her boyfriend helped.
I know you said the gentleman was from Florida.
Yeah.
But his name wasn't Tommy Callahan, was it?
No, it was not. It was not Big Tom Callahan or his son.
Or no,
his
Junior.
son.
Yeah, because
or his son.
We all know Senior is no longer of this earth.
No. Well, this could have been. They're both not of this earth anymore. Anyway, the witness told police that it was clear that the couple were partially nude and were engaging in sex. They also said the couple knew the females could see them, but laughed and did not stop, which means they liked it. One of the witnesses told police she was shaken by the incidents.
Aww.
Not stirred?
No, and called it traumatizing,
Oh.
according to the police.
Yeah.
You got to say that, otherwise the lawsuit doesn't
Right.
go as smooth.
Both the man and woman appeared in court on the Monday and posted a bond according to court records. The public indecency charges are first-degree misdemeanors.
Tom's a creep. Tom is a weirdo. Where does he come up with this shit? It's so disgusting.
Have any of you ever had sex on Skyride, on Ferris wheels, or any type of amusement park rides?
Does the middle of Route 22 count?
No. Well, I mean, that is quite the ride. I do agree with you.
Not to my knowledge.
No,
Can't say we've done that one.
I have not had sex on one of these things per se, but we have done sexual acts on some of these things.
Have any of us had relations in a child's eatery?
What?
That has a playground.
Tom's raising his hand.
No.
In the playground?
No, it wasn't sexual relations.
Okay,
We weren't having relations.
just check.
We did other things in the ball pit of that Chuck E. Cheese.
Just checking.
It
Gross.
was closed. There was no kids there.
Did you
Except-
pick up the balls
Ever?
afterward?
A creepy guy fixing video games who let us in. I mean, there was nobody else there.
Ball pit? Was it ball
Yeah,
pit?
y'all want to use the ball pit, do
Uh,
you? Go right ahead. I'm just gonna fix this Pac-Man over here.
Oh boy, that's some Alabama shit right there.
That guy's name was Randy.
I think that's below Randy, man. That's
That's
not.
way south. Yeah, I guess
That's
a
way
little
south.
further.
That's like definitely Alabama, Georgia.
All right, so really, you guys have never had like in the sky ride or nothing like that? Really?
I got
never struck me out of an
dumped in
amusement
front
park.
of a log flume. Does that count?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the closest I can get.
That's the opposite, really.
That counts. Was it at Great Adventure?
Yes.
Oh,
It's nothing worse than getting dumped and then getting sprayed with water from a log flume.
that wasn't water. She squirted on you. Wow, really?
Well, we weren't. No, I mean we were next to the log flume, not on the bridge where you would get spray.
Well, what
what
provoked
did
it
you-
that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
that
did you
had to
do to this
happen
girl?
Oh,
right
I was
there at Great Adventure.
I was full on. I harknessed that relationship. And for those of you that don't know, to harkness a relationship is just to go way overboard and pay 150% attention to the person rather than taking it casual.
Yeah, that's accurate.
How old were you?
An accurate description.
15?
Well, because you would outgrow that kind of behavior.
Oh
right?
yeah, no, a normal person would, yes.
Wow. And she felt the need to do it right there at Great Adventure.
Yeah, I
while you
don't.
guys were there. Was it a
I-
class trip or something? Or
No, it was just a group of friends, and we all went. And for some reason, she decided that was the point in which she had to go. You know what? I'm through with this.
wow.
Saw you eat something in a strange way and was like, "This is over."
She saw me
Fucking
eat and then
over.
go directly to a planner and write it down. And she goes, "Oh no, this sociopath is not for me."
Did you see what he does with cereal?
Did you see what he did to that funnel cake? Good lord!
Did she date
It's illegal
anybody
in
the
5
group
states.
after that?
All
Yeah,
of them, I bet.
yeah.
On the way,
I'm gonna guess all of
Sky
them.
ride, right? She went on the sky ride.
37
Blew all-
times.
Not that day. It was a few weeks later. She wound up hooking up with one of the other guys. Yeah,
Right, a few weeks later, right?
yeah.
That as much
She
as-
waited. She waited the correct amount of time, the relationship times too, and
Well, where
moved
was the
on.
weirdest? Where was the weirdest place you've had sex?
church parking lot.
That's-
Oh no!
Can we get Randy?
Got
back
Opie
on
and
the
Anthony
phone?
canceled.
Can we get Randy back on the phone?
Ow.
Oh my God! A church parking lot. Which church? Was it yours?
I plead the fifth.
What?
Oh
Ah, St. Francis. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Billy, where's the weirdest place you was it a bathtub?
No, I already said where mine was.
Mill Route 22.
Route 22. All right, Nick. Was it on the Long
back
Island
of a
Expressway
Volkswagen?
in front of Michael Pekka?
I was thinking, I'm trying to think. I don't know.
The foot of the bed.
Friend reference.
No. Probably in a bathroom of our roommate's room while everyone was there. Probably.
Nice.
Okay.
I can't think of a
Solid. It's a good one.
a better one. Yeah.
Nice.
Are you just gonna ignore the
Oh,
question?
you want to
or-
know mine? It was my wife.
Thought it was the ball pit.
It was with my wife. The day
She's not a
before-
strange place. Come on.
the day before she returned her Volkswagen Beetle convertible. We did it on the car with the top down in back of my old place of business that Nick's father owned.
You know what? Nick already
Nice.
knew the answer because he's seen the video
Hey,
from the security
Listen,
camera.
if there is video of this, Nick, please get it for me. I would really
Behind-
like to see it because
It
it was incredible.
Was it in front of behind? So
I was
like,
behind.
like,
I was definitely behind. It was behind and not directly behind.
Behind the
was-
building or
It was
behind
off to the
Lauren?
side,
oh, okay.
kind of
okay.
where
Like,
kind of where the dumpsters were over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
We parked over there.
yeah, I was gonna say in front of the other place. That was the they sold all the what was it what did they sell there? Was it like a sex
It
toy or
turned
something?
into a sports marketing place eventually, but not that far. It was still in that strip that
Okay.
we were in. That was a lot of fun. Sorry, hun, for spilling our dirt to the 30s of people. But yeah. But
So back to your original Ohio story. Did he come or what?
oh, it just dribbled down
Jesus,
the
Bill,
Ferris
some
wheel.
things are just a little too sensitive that you don't talk about them in public.
Well, this place in Orlando on International Drive, this Icon Park, a year ago, they have these two rides there. They have the big giant Ferris wheel, and then they had another ride that it's like a free fall ride with seats all around this tube. Well, there was a kid who actually got killed on that ride, and over the weekend, the Ferris wheel started stalking, and they had to rescue like 60 people off of the Ferris wheel. So if you're in Orlando, Florida, and you go to Icon Park, do not go on those fucking rides.
Don't go on. I wouldn't go anywhere near that place after what I heard about it.
No.
They had to go 400 feet in the air and get people off on ladders off of that Ferris wheel.
It's funny. We went when we were
Big Ferris wheel.
When we were up in New Jersey, we went to Xanadu or whatever the fuck it's called.
American Dream.
What it was called, Xanadu. That's its fucking name. And they have one of these gigantic Ferris wheels. And Lauren was like, "Oh, let's go on there. That looks fun." I'm like, "Are you fucking high? There is no way you are getting." I don't like Ferris wheels in general, let alone those size. No thanks. I'm good. What's that?
400 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And then you have to get out on a ladder.
Yep.
To be safe. I would just be like, no, fix the.
They harnessed them. They had some kind of harness.
There's
so
no,
wouldn't,
no.
Plummet off the ladder, but they had to
Fix it. I'll sit here till you're done.
I don't care. You're gonna have to
I'll
drug
grub
me.
up some McDonald's. I'll just sit here.
Right. You're gonna have to drug me to get me out of this. Could you? It's like imagining Jen was on the Ferris wheel.
No,
it would never.
She would never get on.
No, right? Exactly. No. Damn. Oh my god. My palms are sweating just even thinking about that. Ugh. All right. That's gonna do it for us. I'm tired. My brain's shot.
Tom will be back to form next week, everyone.
Yeah. This was rare form for me. Don't forget to follow us on the Twitter @friends_rivals. YouTube, Facebook, right? We still do that stuff.
Yeah, no,
Friends of Rivals podcast, all that stuff. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We will read them on the air if you want us to. While you are on Apple Podcasts, turn on notifications for our podcast so you never miss an episode of the Friends and Rivals podcast. Billy, say something with me.
I'm coming for you, Thanos. I saw what you did to Hawkeye on New Year's Day, and that ain't cool. I'm gonna get those Infinity Stones. I'm coming back. I'm gonna undo it.
Don't.
Here, Steve.
Huh?
Right over his fucking head.
As long as there's no snow involved, you'll be all right.
Sing us out.
Oh.